Hello, high school football fans. I'm Joe Medley with East Alabama Sports Today, continuing our campus visits around the county as we go to the football playing schools. This is the 10th installment of the 2025 version of this that used to go fly by another name once upon a time. I'm just calling it something more simple now. We're just talking football.
Okay.
And talking today with Alexandria Coach Talkin, and just kind of give us a sense of where things are, a week out from that first game.
Yeah, I've been pleased, talked about it media day. I'm really pleased with our development and our strength and conditioning in off season. I think we've made tremendous strides there. And then, just our youth. I think the past couple of years we've talked about how young we were and having to play a lot of young guys. And now those guys that were 9th and 10th graders are now, sophomores and juniors. So I think we're still not considered a veteran team, because those still, you're talking about 10th and 11th graders, but we are. A lot of those guys have played a lot of minutes in a lot of games. So I feel like, physically we're better. Mentally, obviously, we're older and more mature and better. I feel like you can see it at practice. You can see it in the things we do. We're a better team.
One of the things that I guess, as the bodies grow and the experience grows, the hesitation goes away. Is that
Right.
kind of the biggest thing with maturity?
Correct. Well, the second guessing, exactly what you just said. Getting there on time, not being a little bit late, learning to read things and see what's going on the fly. All that progresses. Obviously, it's benefited us now that these guys have got to play a lot. But now it's fun to see people like JJ, who've now been back there starting 3 years, and he's just a junior, to see him react and see the things he sees on the fly now and sees them beforehand. And that goes, with our linebackers and our outside linebackers and our D line and everybody. And then offensively, same thing. We've got this offensive line. We've got Cole back, who's just a junior, and this will be his 3rd year starting. Those guys seeing things and being able to read things and make decisions without us having to tell them what to do is really, really nice. And practice is going well. A lot of leadership being developed. So things are going well in practice. And, we're just looking forward to actually this Friday and having a chance to play at the Jamboree at Ohatchee and play Ohatchee and Piedmont and just get to, last year I thought I really messed up. We went and played Jacksonville without playing a Jamboree, without playing a week 0, and those things that happened in that first game, the mental mistakes and the stupid plays and all the nerve stuff, I really messed up last year. So I wanted to get in the Jamboree this year to kind of get that kind of stuff out of the way.
And another facet about the way things are developing here at Alexandria the last couple of years is, in a time when rosters can change quickly, players move around, this seems to be something that's been kind of organic in 2 years in the making, going back to a lot of tough lessons learned in 2023, and then a sense that last year actually could have gone farther than it did.
Right. We still, looking back to that Brooks game, in that second round of the playoffs last year, we recovered that onside kick and that inadvertent whistle and all the things you don't want to remember. But, we could have easily been in the 3rd round last year. And, we play in such a tough region. Anybody that knows football around here knows we've got a good region. It's a good money region. We call it a money region because, it's people close by that, you play them and people want to see those games and want to buy tickets to those games. So, just all around being in a good region. So when you get into the playoffs, you've got a chance. You've been through the fire per se, and then just us maturing and growing has kind of led into this thing where we've got some pretty good players out there that are going to play pretty good football for the next years to come.
And of course, the trigger man is Cole Wheeler, the quarterback. We mentioned this at media day. Not many teams out there have a 3rd-year starting quarterback, and not just a 3rd-year starting quarterback, but a good one.
Yeah.
Kind of speak to where he is now.
Well, Cole. I've watched Cole grow up, and to watch, he was probably thrown in too early. With that year that was we don't try to mention around here too much. But now we look and see his maturity, the way he's taking care of his. Cole's one of the strongest guys on our team. He throws a really, really catchable ball. He makes great decisions. He's competitive. All the things that you want to hear about a quarterback, Cole possesses. And the thing about Cole is, sure, we wish he was a little fleeter of foot and could move a little better and have that running part of his game. He's a powerful runner, but he's not a very quick, scat back type of guy. But Cole recognizes his weaknesses. That's another thing. Good players recognize their weakness and they work on those things and they try to not show you that's a weakness. And Cole does really well. He's a mature kid. He's a leader. We couldn't ask for a guy to be running our offense better than Cole does.
And of course, a lot of that fleet-footedness is around him.
Yeah, yes.
And it kind of speak to the, you mentioned J.J. Beeson as a guy, offense and defense skill guy. M.J. Morris obviously is another one. Just kind of speak to what's around him this year.
Well, that's one thing. You watch these guys. J.J.'s a junior, really good running back. Good vision, cuts well, good speed, tough, hard-nosed kid. MJ's super quick, super athletic. Has actually, a lot of these guys, as they're young and youthful, it's hard to get them in practice to work. It just is. I mean, when I go back to when I was a ninth grader, it's hard to come to work every day and have that mental. And I've watched MJ now develop into a guy that's going to run his routes right, run them hard, go through plays, not take plays off mentally. He has matured tremendously, and he's going to be a really, really good football player, and he's just a 10th grader. Got tremendous speed. And then you've got Evan on the outside, Evan White, really good receiver, coming into his own, catches the ball high, runs great routes, got good speed. You've got all these guys around Cole and that can catch and move, and then you've got Ryan Brown, that are fullback, that loves the physical part of the game. Royce Trantham, who's just a 10th grader, but he's 6'6", 250 at tight end, loves to, be physical, but also very agile at tight end to catch the ball and do the things you need to do. And then I think, everybody gets all, about the skill guys, truly, because they're the ones out, and you see make the plays with all the flash. But our line has worked really, really hard. Nemeth and Sweet, those are our two tackles. Those are our guys that have started the most games and played the most. But the 3 or 4 and that's the beautiful thing about our line. We've got 5 guys, and then I feel like we've got 2 guys behind them that if something were to happen, get nicked up or something, they can fill in, and we've got a little more depth than we've had. But our line's working really hard, doing some things that are positive, trying to play physical football. Defensive line, on defense, same thing. We want to play a physical, fast game, and right now we're able to. We're so far ahead of where we've been at this time of year. The past 2 years, we're getting back to where the players kind of know and expect what's coming, and meet the challenge mentally that we throw on them every day at practice, and that's fun to see.
That's one of the things I picked up at Media Day too. Is that you've had teams around here where you've had some real headliner skill makers or skill players. I get the sense that the thing that stands out most to you about this team, even though you do have the skill guys, is the physicality.
Yeah, I think, and that comes with age. These guys are young, and we always talk about pups. Pups will get out there and play with the big dogs, but when the real aggression, eating time happens, the pups go on the porch. So we're wanting to be out there eating. So, and I think that's developed, and that's a mentality that I feel like we've had here ever since, you go back to Coach Scales and Daddy and Coach Tucker. I feel like we've always been a smash mouth, run the ball football team. And that if you had skill guys, you threw it around some. And I feel like that's where we're getting back to. We've got Cole and these skill guys where we can throw it around, but we still have to hang our hat offensively on being able to run the football and control the line of scrimmage, both on the offensive and defensive side.
You mentioned your dad and Coach Scales, and it kind of clicked in my head. How would they have reacted to that inadvertent whistle last year?
Oh man, I think I am I don't know. I think looking back, I was super calm in the moment, because you still want to give your team a chance, you know. But that was our chance, and you just feel so helpless. You know, Dad. I don't remember Coach Skills how his reaction to the officials were. I was too young, but I remember Dad's very well, and that would. Daddy would have probably pursued that inadvertent whistle a lot further than I did after the fact, because it was a game changing, and it's a mistake. We all make mistakes, you know. We all make mistakes, but man, what a time to make one. So.
One of my favorite memories of your dad was the night I was covering a game. I think y'all were playing Childersburg, and they made the call against Childersburg, but your dad wondered why the wrong official made the call.
Right.
That's
That's one thing people that talk. It's funny, you know, I meet a lot of older officials that called Dad's game, and they said back then, you know, a little bit always a little tension between coach and officials, making sure we get it right. But officials respect coaches that know the rules, you know, and that's one thing. You know, I met a guy not long ago, and he said, you know, when you went into a game that you were calling for your dad, you better know the rules, because if you didn't, he was going to call you out on it so quickly. You know, who's supposed to make that call? Why didn't you make that call? And then interpretation of rules. You know, so I learned that from Dad. Hey, learn the game, learn the rules, so these guys will respect you when you're questioning what's going on. Because you go out there and question something that you don't know the rule yourself, you look like an idiot. You know, so but I think as football progresses, you're less on the officials than those guys used to be.
Todd, appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Always good.
Always enjoy these interviews. Tomorrow we move on to Weaver. Friday we'll be at Jacksonville. Saturday at Pleasant Valley, and then Monday at Piedmont. And then guess what? It's game week.
Yep.
Where it's so here. But I will pick up again tomorrow at Weaver. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch these videos and read the material associated with it. And I will see you tomorrow.